Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to make these greeny, kind of teal Halloween nail art design, and it's such a cute little design. So if you're not into like scary designs, then this one is definitely going to be for you. We've got Minty Mirage and Mojito. I usually say these wrong, so I'm sorry if it is wrong. And we also have a velvet matte top coat, and we also have Chick Rose. So Chick Rose is going to work as our like nudie background color for the design. So this green was very sheer. This was the very first time I was using it, and although when I first like placed it onto the nail, I was like, oh, okay, it's a little bit sheer than I thought, but by the second coat it was actually just fine. It was just fine, and it almost created a really cool look to it. It's like a very interesting color, and yeah. So if you do have it and you haven't used it before or worried about getting it, don't worry about getting it. It works fine. We even go into do a French tip later, and it was absolutely fine. The opacity was there and everything, but yeah, the first swipe I did, I was like, ooh, it took me back for a second. We are going to do an ombre, so we did the kind of teal color with the chick color, ombre those two together. Now we're doing an ombre. We're actually going to have marble. We're going to have two marble. I'm only going to show you the one, and I'm doing the brush method. So I pick the first color, I just splodge it all over, go in with the second color and just literally wiggle my brush around like a little snake around that nail, and then just keep repeating the colors, just change it around, keep swirling. If there's an area that you feel like it's missing one color over the other, then just whack it right in there. It's really fun, this way of doing it. It's my new favorite method of doing it, and I don't really see myself going back to the old ways of doing it. It's really fun, you're so in control, and yeah, I just really like it. I like the final touch. I never used to be able to create a marble look like this with my old method. My old method was the way where you kind of create the lines on your palette and then you swipe them into one another and then you scoop it up and then kind of float onto the nail. That was my old method. This method is a million times better. If you're considering or you're not too sure, at least give it once a try and then see how you feel about it, because maybe watching me do it you might think, oh, it doesn't really look too good, but it's so fun, and honestly the final results are just so worth it, and you might actually fall in love, so definitely try it out. Everything has now been cured, and everything has two coats, or at least, of course, not the marble nails, but everything else has two coats. And on the chick nail, we're going to do a French tip using that limey, kind of sheer, glowing almost nail color. This is our Maniology plate. I sped up this footage real quick now with the stamping, so don't worry guys, I do not stamp this quick. Quickly showing you guys the different colours that we're using. Majority, well, two of them I guess, are from Born Pretty. We have some Moe London, and obviously Maniology for the stamping plate, and it's such a cute stamping plate. I wish I could get Maniology easily and accessibly in the UK, but you can't. But if you are in the UK and you're struggling, there are websites that, like wholesalers for example, that sell Maniology, let's say in the US, but they offer worldwide shipping, so that way you can get your hands on these kind of plates. So on the first marble nail, I've placed down this frame, and then in the center of the frame I'm going to put this little Dracula little guy down in the center to almost make it look like he's framed, and I'm going to color him in with some whites. If you wanted to be super, like, you know, if you wanted to like a lot of detail, you could color him in obviously with, you know, you can like color in his little like outfit and stuff and separate to his face and stuff, so that would add some extra detail. But the image itself was tiny, and I'm not always too patient with coloring in little things, so I thought I would keep it simple for myself and do the white, especially since we've got such a busy colorful background. Then I wanted to just kind of keep it chilling. I've disappeared off the screen for a second just because I am actually waiting for it to kind of dry a little bit. When coloring it in, it's very important that you don't drag your brush, so make sure you're floating the polish on the nail, on the jelly stamper, rather than like dragging that brush, because if you drag it you will kind of pull off that image that you've just kind of picked up. Now it's time to do some more reverse stamping. So I'm picking up this full cover image here, and we're going to color in with some teal, and we're only coloring in the spiders, so we're going to leave the spider web, and same thing, yeah, just color it in, nothing too special. If you again wanted to be a bit more attention to detail. Some of those spiders had an eye, so maybe you could have put like a white eye in there and everything else be teal. Like there's a lot of different customizations you can do, which is why I like stamping so much, because you can make so many different designs using the exact same plate, using the exact same images. All it takes is just to change the colors, change the area that you're stamping, switch it up a little bit, and you've got yourself a completely different looking set where you've literally used the same things. Does that make sense? I hope it does. That's why I like stamping. It's great. It's super great. And it's so customizable, obviously, and I just love it. So we're going to colour that in. Again, we're going to wait a moment. Of course, it's a bit longer than the footage shows that I am waiting for that to dry, because I don't want it to be super wet and soggy, because when I go to stamp, I'm just going to like squish that all out and it's going to be a bit of a mess. So I need to wait for it to be a little bit more dry. When it's dry, because it starts to become matte rather than shiny. So this method only works if you're using gel polish though, because you need a tacky layer to stamp down. If you're using regular polish, then I believe you can get yourself some of those like tacky bases made for stamping polishes. I'm not a regular polish user, so I don't fully know. You're gonna have to do some other research or like different channels maybe. But with the gel polishes, it's really nice because it leaves the tacky layer, of course, before you top coat, so it makes it so much easier to stamp down. On the next stamper, whilst the other one is chilling, we've got a ghost with some words. So I'm going to colour the ghost with some white, and then with the wording as well, I'm going to do an outline using the white as well. Luckily, those two were next to each other on the stamping plate, so I could literally just pick up both at the same time rather than having to do them separately. Here it is. You can see through it, which is really, really nice. Now that stage, I think I'm about to be ready to stamp down. I am. Okay, so on this tip, we're going to do the spider web and the spiders. Here it is, and I'm also doing the sides too, or trying to. And as you can see, I strategically picked it up in a way so that I'm not having to do too much wiping. Ever so slightly there, but other than that, pretty clean. Pretty satisfied with how that went. I think I should be ready to stamp that down in a second. Once the ghost is stamped down, we're going to, on that ombre nail, we're going to stamp down some little spider webs. You're going to see that in a sec. Okay, that's down. So I think we're on the spider webs now. Where that yeah, there is. So this one's a bit annoying because I'm only wanting that spider web, that full spider web look. So I'm trying to get rid of everything else, and I'm going to stamp 4 of those down, 2 on each side. So on this nail, I need 2 on the right, 2 on the left, and I kind of want them in between one another. And then in the center, I'm leaving the center clear because later on we're going to place some crystals down. So that's why I'm doing it that way. And then once that's done off camera, I am going to do a full cover stamp on that green nail with those spiders and that web as well. And I'm going to color it in teal again, but it's just so repetitive, so I thought I would just cut that out and you'll see in a second. It's just like basically what we did on that French tip nail, but just on the full green nail. So right, now it's time for the crystals, literally final finishing touches. We've got 2 nails with crystals. So this French tip nail, we've got some opal crystals, which is so beautiful. It's not often that I pick up some opals, so that was quite nice. So that's going right at the top, and then in between them we are going to pop some caviar beads. It's just such a cute little touch, and it just elevates everything so much. I love it. The caviar beads are from Shein, and then the crystals themselves, AB most likely from Shein, guys. These days I feel like Shein, but the opal 100% it's going to be AliExpress, because I don't think I've ever picked up any opal from Shein. So caviar beads applied. I might just straighten them up and play about with them. This is a cuticle tool, this gold, rose gold tool, and then I'm gonna pop it into the lamp. So once that's in the lamp, I am then going to do the center of the ombre nail. And I've already got everything ready on my little triangle plates. Everything's ready to go. I'm so organized in today's video. So that's going to go in the center again. Caviar beads are going to be popped in between them. Once that's all sorted, that will then go into the lamp. Once that's out, it's time to just top coat. I am going to obviously use the matte top coat. It's the Madame Glam Velvet Matte Top Coat, and it's just so good. I love it. To pieces. I feel like everybody raves about it, and it's honestly for good reason, because it's just really, really good. It's really nice. I'm obsessed. Here we go. Crystal placement almost done. I think I cut out the caviar bead part, but it is going to be there. Here it is. Okay, here I'm trying to be as careful as I can just to avoid getting any of the matte top coat on the nail. Not nail, on the crystal. And then everything else I can be a bit more reckless other than that French tip nail. I just, you just don't want the matte top coat on the crystals. Don't want that at all. So here it goes. Just trying to be careful at the top of that one is just so much more easier to be careful with, basically. When it's in the center, it gets a little bit messy. And then everything else, I can just go wild. Sometimes your stamping polish might bleed, but I feel like it's just with selected top coats. I've never had that with Madame Glam. So if you are worried, you can always do a base coat down first before top coating if you're ever worried about that. Righty, that's almost done now. That will go into the lamp for a nice quick cure. And then here are the final results. I hope you guys liked it. If you did, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I would love to see you all in my next video. Bye, guys.